everyone, I'm sitting in a slightly different position in my lounge today because it just felt a bit wrong to have like my proper setup and I wasn't really feeling it, to be honest. I thought for this one I could just sit on my sofa and have a little chat with you guys. Before I get going with this video, if you haven't seen my last video, it was a vlog and I will link it above. And if you're new to this channel or you haven't yet subscribed, please click on the subscribe button because then you get alerted every time I get a new video, and I would absolutely love it if you subscribed. As I'm filming this, it's a Friday afternoon and I'm waiting for my friend Hannah to pick me up for my hen weekend, which is so exciting, and I'm just feeling really excited about life and happy right now, which is why I thought it was a good time to make this video because it's complete contrast to how I felt maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago. If you follow me on Snapchat, you might have seen I had a bit of a blogger meltdown. And obviously, compared to some of the awful things that people have to go through, this is so minor. But I think everyone has their like bad days. And I realized throughout that, the messages I was getting from you guys on like Snapchat and Twitter was that you kind of appreciated the fact that I acknowledged that I was having a bad day, because I think everyone has bad days and bad weeks. But personally for me, that week was the lowest and saddest I've felt in maybe ever. Definitely since my kind of blogging YouTube career. And there wasn't really any reason for it either. I felt very lonely. I felt very confused about what I wanted to do. And I just had a massive lack of passion for anything. I really remember the feeling of just feeling like I didn't care about anything. I didn't care about beauty, I didn't care about fashion, I didn't care about fitness, I didn't care about food. I couldn't think of anything that I cared enough about to make content for you guys to talk about, and the pressure was kind of getting to me, and I ended up not putting a video up that week. I think just the busyness of planning a wedding and kind of being alone in this job, it all just kind of built up on me, and I just had a terrible, terrible week. But now I feel great. It's only a couple of weeks later and I feel absolutely fine and back to normal. And at the time I felt like, oh my God, this is the end. This is the end of my YouTube career. I can't think of anything I ever want to make a video about again. I don't want to be in the internet. And while I was kind of in that period, I really felt like that was it. And now I'm out of it. So I thought it might be a good idea to make a video on like how I got out of that mood. And at the time it wasn't something I was intentionally doing, but now I can look back and see kind of what I did to get out of that. And I thought it might be useful. It might inspire you if you're feeling like you're in a bit of creative funk. I understand what I do is quite specific, but I think there's a lot of people that have kind of creative jobs. If you're a writer and you get writer's block, or if you're just feeling a bit uninspired about life, that these little tips or things that I did might help you. If anything, maybe it's just nice to hear about someone else that was having a bit of a rough time and I feel better now. Who knows, I might feel crap again next week, but at the moment I'm feeling excited for my hen and I'm feeling happy and I'm back into making videos. So I've kind of split this up into 3 steps, I'd say. I'm going to talk you through the different steps that I took. I filmed a few fancy cutaways to insert in just to make this video a bit more interesting. And the first step for me is to focus on things that make you happy. When you're in that negative, dark place and you just hate life and you hate everything and everything's feeling so negative and you're feeling overwhelmed, you just have to get yourself out of that space. For me, my flat is where I work and it's very small and it's very enclosed. So for me, I need to get out of the flat, get away from this space, go somewhere else that makes me happy. Spending time with my family, spending time with my nieces and nephews, the kids who don't want to talk to me about Instagram's new update or Snapchat filters. They don't know about internet stuff. It's so nice to spend time with the kids. So going over to my parents' house, having fun in the garden with the kids. I went to visit my grandma. All these little things really took my mind off it. And that time that I was with the kids or with my grandma, I wasn't thinking about work. I wasn't thinking about the internet or anything. I was just enjoying the moment, and that really, really helped me. I also find that catching up with friends is great. I rarely really talk about work with my friends. Sometimes it will come up, but you know, when you're with your best friends, you just talk about whatever and you have a great time. And again, it's just a distraction from what's going on. Something that happened towards the end of that week when I was feeling rubbish was a bit of a light bulb moment of, oh my God, this has genuinely made me feel the happiest I've felt all week. And it was so unexpected. I was driving to my parents, I think it was like a Friday night. I was driving over for dinner at my parents with Rich, and we had our phone connected and we were playing Spotify, and Stevie Wonder song came on and I just started singing along. I normally kind of sing along to the radio anyway. And then I just got really into it and I started singing really loudly. And I'm not joking, it was like a smile just took over my face. I had the best 3 minutes that I'd had the whole week, and I was singing at the top of my voice, and Rich was just like, go on, let it out. And I was singing so loudly, and it's so random, but I love singing. I used to always sing at school and it actually makes me happy. So now I know when I'm feeling rubbish, singing as loud as I possibly can in my car when no one can hear me genuinely made me feel better. So that's something I've added to my list. And then the final part of this first section is to not keep it all in. I think when you're feeling a bit negative and moany and miserable, for me, I have a guilt of, oh, I don't want to moan at people or complain because then I feel guilty because my problems aren't as bad as other people's, or I don't want people to have to listen to my negative energy, or you kind of, it's like a cycle of like guilt, but then you still feel rubbish. And eventually I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go on Snapchat and say how I feel. And it actually made me feel so much better. I'm sure there were people out there who didn't want to hear me moaning, but there were so many of you that messaged back with lovely messages, and you were really understanding and really listened to me, and that kind of interaction really helped me. Just letting it out and saying it, whether you're saying it online, which probably isn't the best idea, or you're just telling a friend or a parent or a sibling, talking about how you feel out loud. You feel like it's not going to help, but it really does just get everything from here out, because what you'll find is actually there's a lot jumbled up in your head. Once you say it out loud, it might not be as bad as you think, or it's easier to kind of make sense of it when you're hearing it back yourself. So don't keep it all in and just let it all out. So you focus on the things that make you happy. And I think step 2 is, for me, have an internet detox day. I don't think I could do a whole week just because this is my job. You can't just take a week off work, but having a day when you're just not on the internet, you can clear your mind, really helps. I find that going for a walk is a really nice way to clear my head. Music always makes me feel good if I'm listening to songs that make me feel good. So put in your headphones and go for a walk around the park. Just take deep breaths and take everything in around you and try and clear your mind, or not, or have a think about things, whether you're using it as thinking time or to clear your mind. Just kind of getting out and walking around and taking everything in can really help. Simple things, just like watching a film that you love, can make you feel so good. I like to just snuggle up on the sofa and watch a nice film. And for me, TV has become a way to kind of zone out, because watching YouTube videos now, as much as I love it, kind of reminds me of work, and it's all a bit like internety. So just to watch a film and kind of put your phone in the other room, you can just sit and zone out for a couple of hours and watch a nice feel-good film. Reading a book. So old school, but having a flick through a book. I find that reading quite an intense book isn't great when I'm feeling like that, but I have quite a few like coffee table books that I like to flick through, and it can be really relaxing just to read a book. And then the other thing I found that really made me feel better, that again was very unexpected, was calligraphy. This new little hobby that's come out of nowhere that I didn't know I was going to suddenly become really into calligraphy, but I have dived in head first and I love it. The minute I tried calligraphy, if you haven't seen my vlog where I learned calligraphy, I will link it above. The minute I tried it, I knew it was going to be such a therapeutic, relaxing way to just zone out. That you can't check your phone whilst doing calligraphy. When you're doing it, you have to be concentrating, you're zoned into it, and the motion is just so relaxing. So I really enjoyed the process of learning how to do calligraphy, and now I can practice it. I'm also obsessed with getting an iPad Pro and a pen so I can like do it digitally. That just got me really excited about something new, which I wasn't expecting. Okay, so step 1 and step 2 are done. So now you're feeling better about life, and I think step 3 is to go back to the drawing board and reevaluate things. I like to brainstorm new ideas, and this can't really be forced. Sometimes it will just come to you, but I like to just sit there with a notebook, make some notes. Something I find really useful with what I do is to look back at old videos and watch videos that I've loved making in the past, and it will kind of remind me what I love about making videos and why I enjoyed making a certain video, what you guys enjoyed, and just kind of looking back at when you were feeling good about things. And then I like to plan ahead. I think I got to the point where I was, I had like a day to make a video, but that a day's not enough to make a video as good as I wanted to make it. So to get a little bit ahead gives me a bit more space to be creative. So having that kind of week where you get ahead really helps as well. All these things together did help, but ultimately it comes down to just how you feel. And I'm really happy that I feel much better about things now, but I also now feel really sorry for people who feel like that for a long period of time, because I felt awful and I felt very alone in it, and I felt like I couldn't explain to people how I felt. I felt like my friends and people around me in the industry, maybe because I moan a lot, people thought, oh, Lily's just moaning, but I really felt awful. But anyway, I feel so much better now, and I don't know if there's a point to this video or not, but I really wanted to sit and talk to you guys about it. And if you have been through the same thing or are going through the same thing, you'll feel better. If you have a creative job, I think it's very normal to have moments of, you know, a creative funk. That's kind of what you're in, a creative funk. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little video and found it interesting or helpful. I'll have another video up on Tuesday, hopefully, that'll be a vlog, and then next Sunday morning as usual. If you're not already, follow me on Snapchat. Go follow me there, where I do kind of daily vloggy snaps. And also follow me on Instagram, Lily Pebbles. Instagram now has stories. Haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do about Snapchat, Instagram, but I think Instagram I'm going to do less and kind of nicer little clips, and Snapchat would just be me blabbing away all day. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!